Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's happening?
Let's face it, running a small business is a roller coaster of emotions. The reality is there's no way to completely avoid the chaos. But the people, processes, and systems you built into your business can be the difference between thriving and sinking.
Yeah.
If you're a business owner or entrepreneur feeling the chaos creep into every area of your life, you need the Organized Chaos Podcast, hosted by Trainio founder and CEO Chris Ronzio. You don't need another podcast with thought leadership fluff. You want practical entrepreneurial advice that can help you build a better business today and get back time to do more of the things you love. You see, every weekday, Chris shares bite-sized topical episodes on small business leadership, people management, productivity hacks, and entrepreneurship. And it doesn't stop there. On Fridays, they feature exclusive interviews with today's top founders, authors, and the leader in the space. Names like Sam Parr, the founder and CEO of The Hustle, the author of Scaling Up, Vern Harnish, and Shark Tank host, Damon John. Join the thousands of monthly listeners learning how to organize the chaos in their business. Available to stream on all podcast apps or click the link in the show notes.
Broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side. With leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, Technology News of the Week, the show for the everyday person talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology with a little whiskey on the side. You hear I had a little bit of that whiskey before the show. Are you ready for today's? Are you ready for today's whiskey?
Yeah, you pre-taster.
I had a little bit of pre-taste. And I'm Nathan Mumm. Welcome to our show today. We live stream during our show on 5 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch TV, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. We encourage you to watch us live or visit us at techtimeradio.com. And you can always tweet us during the show at hashtag TechTimeRadio, and we'll do our best to respond to the tweets. You can also check out our new TikTok channel by looking for it in the TikTok app for TechTime Radio. Get our intern shorts and full video recaps of the show at techtimeradio.com. I'm your host, a technologist with over 30 years of technology expertise working for Fortune 500 companies across the country. My co-host here, Mike Roday, is an award-winning author, originally from Arizona. Mike's a human behavioral expert living in the Seattle area with a master's degree in forensic psychology. Mike helps me from keeping the stories from geeking out, right?
that was not a really good recovery, but good try.
Mike helps keep me from geeking out while providing an insight into human behavior and how it interacts with technology. We're two friends from different backgrounds, but bring the best technology show possible every week for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. All right, welcome. How's your week? In the Pacific Northwest, where we had a lot of forest fires that kind of impacted my weekend. How was your weekend there, Mr. Gourday?
Well, I'm from Arizona, so I'm used to seasonal fires.
So you feel like you're back at home?
Yeah.
You're excited about it as the ashes in the air. You're like,
it's always awesome to walk outside and into a nuclear winter.
There you go. All right. Well, we
ash
have
raining down all over the place.
Odie is on vacation. All right. She's in Mexico, I believe. I'm sure she's having a great time there, partying it up. So we have Nathan Miller back on. Mr. Miller hasn't been on our show for a while, but he was a part of our original launch of Tech Time Radio. So we're excited to have you back, Mr. Miller.
It's great to be here, Nathan M. Nathan M.
From Nathan M to Nathan M.
Yeah.
All right. And so he's already tasted this alcohol, too. He was kind of bragging it up a little
he's
bit.
A pre-taster.
All right. Here we go. Well, let's get ready now to start today's show.
Now on today's show.
What are we talking about today?
All right. Today on Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, Facebook is trying to copy another company.
No way.
With chat. We talked about them a couple weeks ago where they got in trouble for a company, and now they're back in the news. Holiday Inn hotels are hit by a cyber attack. So if you're trying to check into a Holiday Inn over the last weekend or right now, you may not be able to get your reservation. You may have been booked to a hotel across the country.
Well, that's a bummer.
Or you may have exorbitant of exorbitant fees that were charged to your room ahead of time. All right. Why is Elon Musk appearing as a popcorn emoji today? We're going to talk about that. Comcast Xfinity will now bring 2 gigabits of internet to a few states. We're going to talk about the states and areas that are going to get 2 gigabits per second. Can you believe that? 2 gigs per second internet speed. I remember when a 56K modem was all that I needed, and you hear the crackles, and you would download bits and bits. You'd leave it on at night, so it would download stuff. Now you're going to have 2 gigabits.
Now we get upset. We get upset when the little spinny thing comes on
your computer. Yeah, a little bit. Or if suddenly you send an email and you say, "Has my email got there?" It's like, we'll give it like 3 seconds. No, it's not here yet. Okay, we'll give it a couple seconds.
Is that the technical thing for that spinny thing?
A spinny wheel. It's. I think that's the wheel of doom if you're on a Mac. That's
the
what we
wheel
call
of
it.
doom.
That's right. Apple has a release for an urgent iOS security patch. They keep on sending out these releases essentially every 3 weeks. And we have the founder of EveryKey, Chris Wentz, will join the show. So EveryKey is a device that we're going to be talking about later in the show, and it's something that I use each and every day.
Yes, you love it.
I love it very much so. We have Gwen back on our Gadgets and Gear segment. In addition to that, we have, of course, Mike's Mesmerizing Moment. This Week in Technology, a possible Nathan Nugget, of course, our pick of the day, whiskey tasting. So sit back, raise a glass, and welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Now let's start the show with the technology fail of the week, brought to you by Elderberry Boost. Get your Elderberry Boost today at elderberry-boost.com. Mike and Nathan, here you go. Listen to this WTF and see if our TFW makes you say WTF. All right, this week's technology fail. Let's see if you go WTF to our TFW. Wow. Okay. I'm excited about today's show.
Yeah,
All right, I got to slow down a bit.
Do
All right.
your ritual.
This week's fail comes to us from the hotel provider Holiday Inn. IHG, which is some of the world's largest hotel chains, issued a statement saying that it was investigating an unauthorized access to a number of its technology systems. The company said that its booking channels and other applications have been disrupted since Monday, and it's working to fully restore all systems as soon as possible. IHG manages the Holiday Inn, Crown Plaza, and Regent hotels. Last month, the Holiday Inn in Istanbul was breached by Lockbit, which released data stolen from the company. It is not known if there's a connection between these attacks and the hotel chain, but it's absolutely been targeted over the last 3 months in a security breaches going all the way back to 2017, where they had more than 1,200 of its franchise hotels that were affected. In a statement, the company said, "We will be supporting our hotel owners and operations as part of our response to the ongoing service disruption. IHG's hotels are still able to operate and take reservations directly." Now, have you ever tried to call a hotel? How easy is it? Here you go, Mr. Miller. Jump onto this. Have you tried to call a hotel directly anytime recently?
No. I have.
Did it work for you?
It actually worked well.
Well, okay.
Who did you call? To them.
Okay.
This was, where was it? It was down in, I think it was a Best Western or something like that over in Ellensburg. I was going for a friend's wedding and just checking up on the bookings and went right to the front desk. No problem.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's great because some of these hotels have it where they're so locked into all these channel partnerships that all you get is that standard entry-level number. And if you call in the entry-level number right now and you try to get a Holiday Inn, essentially this is what they're answering, saying, "We have system disruptions. We're unable to answer your phone at this time. Please call the hotel directly."
That's just great.
So you're paying a franchise to provide hotel services, and your hotel services got hacked 3 months ago, have been constantly hacked all the way back to 2017. Shouldn't you better be hiring some better IT people?
I don't know. We talk about this stuff all the time, and nobody's going to listen.
Nobody's going to listen?
Yeah, because, human behavior.
So our PSA out there is hire technology people to keep your technology safe. Do you think that's going to work?
No.
So Holiday Inn is just going to be like,
I think
we'll have Marriott on here in a couple weeks.
They're going to put their little Band-Aids on it and say everything's cool, and then somebody else will come along, and they're just like everybody else.
So what if
I really sound pretty cynical now, but
think if you're like on a trip down into like these Mecca places, Disneyland, Disney World, you're going in to check into your hotel, and you go into the Holiday Inn, and you say, "Hey, I'm here to check in," and it says, "We don't have a reservation for you."
That's like the same as years ago when we didn't have all this. You walk into a hotel. You've ever walked into a hotel? You called.
I did. Did
a reservation. You get there, and they're like, "I'm sorry, we don't have."
Yeah, we did that. We did that almost our second trip. My wife and I, when our honeymoon was okay, but like our second trip, we had issues with that.
It seems like that's so long ago.
Yeah, because now everything's instant. You get a confirmation number. So there you go. Well, let me tell you, if you're trying to get to a Holiday Inn right now, best of luck to you. I'm sure they'll fix it, and they'll probably pay some ransomware, and then they'll probably patch it, and we'll see what goes on for the next 3 months until it gets hacked again.
Yeah, not much of a fail.
All right. Well, that was our technology fail of the week. All right. Brought to you by Elderberry Boost. Visit elderberry-boost.com. Mike, as always, though, we have our whiskey tastings during the commercial. See if we selected a whiskey pick of the day, if it gets 1 thumbs up, if it gets 2 thumbs up, or if it gets no thumbs up, or maybe even a split vote on our taste of the day. You're going to want to listen all the way through the show to listen to the facts from Marc and his Marc's Mumble. It'll make you go, Now it's time for the latest headlines in the worlds of technology.
What's happening in the world of technology? This is our top stories in the first 5 minutes.
All right, here we go. Story number 1. Elon Musk appears to have turned into a Twitter whistleblower's Senate hearing this morning that's going on, and he decided to change his emoji to a popcorn. The billionaire tweeted a popcorn emoji and changed his profile name to, what is that?
Naughtiest Maximus.
Naughtiest Maximum. Maximus. As the hearing ensued. The hearing could impact Twitter's lawsuit against Musk. The social media company is attempting to force the billionaire to follow through on the agreement to purchase the company for $44 billion after he attempted to pull out of the agreement in July. Musk's legal team is attempting to use the whistleblower's complaint from Twitter's former security chief, Peter Zatko, and the counter lawsuit against the social media company. Up until now, Zatko's complaint was revealed. Musk's legal team urged that Twitter intentionally misled investors as the company's prospects of having tons of fake bots on the system itself.
I feel like there's a theme going on here.
With technology.
Not just with technology. It's just like a whole range of people. They're just repeating the same thing over and over and over again.
Well, you know what? Because if you don't get penalized for doing it incorrectly, then you might as well just fall in the line and do the same as everybody else, right?
I think if, I'm going to sit back and change my profile names to stuff and just sit back and
see how the
tweet
millions
popcorn emojis to all the stupid stuff all over the place.
All right. Twitter has said, though, that the revelations are riddled with inaccuracies and accused that this is a disgruntled former employee. Last week, Twitter's legal team said the cybersecurity chief has nothing to do with spam on the platform and accused Zatko of parroting Musk's allegations against the company. Last week, though, the Wall Street Journal reported that Zatko received $7.75 million severance package after he left the company and signed a non-disclosure agreement in June, an allegation Musk's legal teams used to try to justify its third attempt to pull out of the purchase agreement. On Monday, Twitter criticized Musk's latest attempt to dodge the deal and call it invalid and wrongful. The court case is set to open a 5-day trial in October. Experts believe the whistleblower's complaints is unlikely to sway the case, but it could convince Twitter to settle with Musk for a lower price. We kind of talked about that already because we keep on covering him. We kind of think that's his tactic that he's going at, right? We think he's going to try to get
I don't know.
I think he's going to try to get the price lower.
I'm just sitting back and watching him do what he does, and we'll see what happens.
He's an interesting guy, though. He is all over the place. He's like a bouncing baby on a balloon with helium. I mean, it's just going all over everywhere.
That's a really good analogy.
You like that?
Not really.
Okay, I think you got story number 2.
Yeah. So last week we reported that Facebook is discontinuing its neighborhood. What is that? What was that called?
The neighborhood. Well, they called their app Neighborhood, but the next door is the.
That's
app
right. The next door app clone that
they
were doing. They discontinued that last. We reported last week. Well, guess what?
What?
They are now introducing a way for nearly 3 billion customers to connect to each other in the coming weeks. The company plans to expand the availability of community chats, a feature that will allow Facebook and Messenger groups to organize discussions around their favorite topics. On top of the usual text conversations, community chats will support audio and video channels and allow admins to broadcast messages to their groups. What does that sound like to you?
So I think there's an app already on the market that does that.
Oh, are you sure?
I think there is.
What do you think? What could be? Could it be Discord?
I think I have used Discord. Have you used Discord?
Yes, once or twice.
Yeah, we've used it a lot.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, well, so they discontinued their neighborhood clone.
Yep.
They're going with a Discord clone. I guess, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
So Facebook,
I don't know.
essentially they can't buy enough companies and they can't create their own content.
I don't know.
They're just now knocking off everybody.
Yeah, when it comes to Meta, I think it's just sort of a desperate grasp at staying relevant. But hey, anyway, they are.
Now I predicted Meta was going to be gone in 5 years.
Yeah, I know.
We'll
see. We'll see what happens. Everything dies, so
it does.
We'll see.
What about MySpace? Have you used MySpace recently?
Oh yeah, I get on that every day. What are you talking about?
How about Napster? Napster is Napster still around?
No.
How about American
illegal.
Online? You ever remember American Online?
You got mail. So, anyway, yeah. So this does sound familiar. It's because Meta is effectively replicating how Discord works. On Discord, you can join community servers that are organized around a single game or interest, and it's even possible for admins to create multiple sub-channels for people to discuss specific aspects of their interest, like Reddit.
There's all these tools that already do everything that they're trying to do.
Everybody is doing what everybody's doing, so,
So Reddit's great, right? You post stuff on Reddit. I can read subjects on Reddit. I love Reddit. It's like the bulletin board service.
I think that's one of the originals.
Yeah, it's like a bulletin board service, right? You post stuff, it stays there.
So even the moderation tools are reminiscent of Discord. So we'll see how that goes. I imagine in a few weeks we'll be reporting that they've discontinued their Discord clone now, and they're headed towards some other kind of.
They're going to run out of something. You know what? They may get so lucky that they actually create something that's actually new.
They're gonna go to IRLs.
Are they?
Yeah, they're gonna ditch all their virtual stuff and go to in real life things.
Real life things. So you're gonna sign up for a Meta event and you can actually go.
Go there,
interact with two people, and play
you can
chess
actually
or something
see real
like that.
people and play real chess. Yeah. So we'll see how that works.
The new Meta Chess Club. Meet real people. All right,
there you go.
Story number 3: Comcast Xfinity will bring 2 gigabits internet to these states. Okay. So we're not lucky enough to have one of these.
We don't have this yet?
There's 4 U.S. cities that by the end of this month will be able to have multi-gig service with download speeds up to 2 gigabits per second. And 4 cities that include Augusta, Georgia, Colorado Springs, Colorado, Panama City Beach, Florida. I don't know why Panama City Beach, Florida needs this. I don't think those people sitting there on the beach need faster internet, but I guess they need to.
It's for spring break, buddy.
Okay. There you go. And Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The company plans to roll out the service to 30 more cities before the end of the year. So we don't have this yet? No, we're going to be on the list of one of the 34, though.
You would think that the
Pacific
Mecca of the Pacific
you think LA and California would have it first, right?
That?
And then you'd have New York would have it second. Boston would have it
pretty
third.
Soon
Seattle would have it fourth.
Yeah, pretty soon the internet's going to be so fast they're going to be getting out information that we never wanted in the first place.
Or they'll give out incorrect information that's fake news.
No way.
Okay, all right. Story number 4. Apple releases an urgent iOS security patch, so install now. Now, Apple seems to do one thing well. When they have a security breach, they seem to tell everybody, and they patch it, right? Mm-hmm. But have you noticed that we have more and more Apple patch stories that are accumulating on our broadcast? No. Everything is coming out here lately of there's a new patch. Well, Apple released an emergency security patch that addresses multiple flaws in different versions of its iOS, iPad OS, and Mac OS. So essentially anything that has an Apple OS on it is vulnerable at this time. Some of these flaws include that the company confirmed are being actively abused in the wild as we speak. Apple is aware of the report and has issued that they may actively try to stop the exploits. The company said in a security advisory without going into detail about who's abusing it and what exactly it is. The patch fix is a total of 5 security updates covering 16 CVEs affecting Safari 16 on macOS Big Sur, macOS Monterey, iOS 16, and iPhone 8 or newer. Again, if you have an iPhone 8 or newer, you need to patch your software. The company is also working to address issues on its TV OS.
All right. So when is this going to happen? Maybe they need that 2 gigabytes of speed to get these patches out so that they're already finished.
I had to patch my computer this morning. I'm working on TechTime Radio pre-show, and all of a sudden, boom! I got to patch my thing because my computer became vulnerable.
That's the thing.
It's almost like FireEye maybe had a chance to break in for a second.
Boy, really? You just had to.
I had to do it by FireEye.
Here,
Miller will bring back on
throwing
those.
that grenade just to get some.
That's right.
Explosion.
All right. Well, that goes our top stories. Whew.
I'm happy.
You happy? You're happy that Facebook is imitating somebody else again or copying somebody else?
Not really. I don't.
Okay.
I don't pay enough attention to what they're doing. I just laugh when they do it.
That's all right. Up next, our segment, Technology Insider. We're excited. Have you ever lost a key or forgotten a password? Well, the company EveryKey founder Chris Wentz has a solution for you. EveryKey is the world's first universal smart key and wirelessly unlocks your phone, computer, or tablet and automatically logs you into your online accounts when you're nearby. Then when you get up to leave, it locks everything down and keeps it secure. We have him on the show next, and I can tell you that not only is this technology fantastic, it's part of my everyday life. We're going to be back in a moment to talk more about this. You're listening to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's happening?
Did you know for every $1 spent on email marketing, you receive $36 in return? That's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
But it's all so complicated. All those advanced tools and features, you don't know how to approach them at all.
What if there was an email marketing platform where you don't have to rack your brains to get started? A tool that's not overloaded with unnecessary features you don't want to pay for, and, believe it or not, has a support team available 24/7, even on the free plan.
There is a solution, Mike. Let me introduce you to Sellzy, a tool that makes email marketing as easy as 1, 2, 3. With Sellzy, you can launch your first campaign in 15 minutes. No coding required. A very easy to use, intuitive email builder with over 300,000 gifts and stickers to choose from and 500,000 plus free stock images, a customizable countdown timer, and more. Create emails for any business goal, from e-commerce to nonprofits. Easily create automated email sequences for your business.
Get 24/7 support via chat, email, and phone, even on the free plan. Sellzy has just launched a special deal. You can now get a lifetime access to all Sellzy features for just $49. All the core features, unlimited emails, automation, segmentation, advanced analytics for the price of 10 lattes.
Sellzy is the easiest way to start selling with emails. Try it now. Click the link in this episode description on TechTime Radio to get that special deal.
No commissions or hidden fees.
To learn more information, visit them at the simple and easy site to remember. Just go and visit Sellzy.com. That's SELZY.com. The easiest way to send emails. Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Tech Time Radio is an hour technology show that talks about current technology in a simple format without having to geek out. Brought to you by myself, Nathan Mumm, and Mike Corday. We just had our first whiskey tasting during the break, and now let me tell you about what we're sipping in our pick of the day. We have chosen the Ellington Reserve 8-year Canadian whiskey. $19.99, 80 proof. This premium Canadian whiskey aged to perfection in charred oak barrels for 8 years. This aging produces a smooth, mellow flavor after resting for 8 years in the charred oak barrels. Flavors of rye, bread, vanilla, and caramel are revealed with a whiff of pepper. The company is United States Distilled Products Company. The distillation for distilling this is unknown, but it is bottled in Princeton, Minnesota. The classification is Canadian whiskey, and the mash bill is undisclosed.
So it's Canadian, made in America.
So it's Canadian. Well, that's kind of, since it's undisclosed and it's bottled in Minnesota. Maybe they
Canadian.
Maybe they bring it over on boats or haul it in to get bottled here. But what's your take on it?
Well, I can tell you it's not like licking a fireplace.
Like last week's?
Last week's.
You didn't like last week's, did you?
No.
No.
Not at all.
And
this one has a nice little fruity flavor to it. And it doesn't have a very harsh bite. So we'll see when it sits around.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I was kind of ready to say that it wasn't going to be a good whiskey because, sometimes I buy whiskeys to help our ratings. And when we have bad whiskey on our show, our ratings do much better. But Mr. Miller was talking about this in the elevator on the way up to the studio, and he's kind of a fan of this also. So we're going to see if maybe we'll give a couple thumbs up.
So far, it's not bad at all.
All right. Okay. So we're kind of on the borderline of thumbs up. All right. Let's get our next segment ready. Today on the show, we have Chris Wentz joining us on our Comcast StreamYard video. He is the founder of EveryKey. EveryKey is the world's first universal smart key that wirelessly unlocks your phone, computer, or tablet and automatically logs you into your online accounts when you're nearby, then locks everything down when you walk away.
Welcome to Technology Insider. We get the information directly from the source.
All right, Chris, welcome to the show. How are you doing this afternoon?
Hey, Nathan. Doing great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So Chris and I have talked a couple times, not only once for the show and a pre-meeting, because I do all pre-meetings, but we've talked about this product for a couple times, and I am jazzed about this product.
Yes, you are jazzed.
And you've tried it, Mr. Gourdet.
I have tried it.
And did you like it?
I did.
Okay.
But I think for me, it wasn't that necessary.
It wasn't that necessary for you?
No, I don't have as many little tchotchkes and things to
log into
like you do. So.
Okay. All right. Well, all right, Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came up with the idea of creating a wireless device that unlocks other devices.
Sure. So I was in an entrepreneurship class in college, and the professor asked us to come up with any kind of business idea that we wanted. We came up with this crazy idea for EveryKey, this device that would replace all of your different passwords and all of your different keys and essentially unlock everything from your phone to your laptop to your tablet, the door to your office, your car door, your bike lock, all your online accounts, like your social media accounts, your email accounts, your bank accounts. We all have all these different accounts that we have to log in with. EveryKey creates random and secure passwords for all these different accounts, logs you in when you're around, and locks it all back down when you walk away. We came up with this idea during this entrepreneurship class, presented it to the professor and to the class, and honestly didn't think much of it. We thought, hey, wouldn't this be cool if Apple or Google were to do something like this and make a product like this? But fortunately for us, the professor came up to us afterwards, shook our hands and said, guys, you should pursue this as a real business. I want to invest some money into this to get this off the ground. And that's where we really got that confidence to move forward.
That's a smart professor. You know what? He saw some kids in the classroom with some ability to come up with a creative idea. And instead of him saying, hey, why don't you guys go out and do it on your own? He said, that's a great idea. You should move forward with it. Let me help invest into it so I can help be a part of it. So I like that professor. That would have been me if I was that.
That sounds like something you would be involved in.
All right. So tell us, where's your company located at?
Yeah. So I'm in Las Vegas right now, just on a business trip, but we're located in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay,
I'm in Vegas, so I should have a bottle of whiskey and a glass in front of me as well.
It should be.
What's going on?
Or maybe he lost it all at the roulette tables and the craps tables, so he's saving up. Well, so what is it that you guys? You kind of did a big expose, a couple interviews that you really enjoy working in Cleveland, and a couple of things you talked about in that report was that the cost of hiring people are a little bit better. What makes it successful for EveryKey as a technology company? Not being in the Pacific Northwest and Seattle area or California for you guys out there to be successful?
Yeah, so we spend a lot of time in the Silicon Valley Bay Area as well, and there's a lot of great benefits to having a presence in Silicon Valley and Seattle and the Pacific Northwest. But Cleveland has a lot of advantages of its own. The lower cost of living obviously means that people are able to live much happier lives off of less money, which is great for you as an employer and great for the employee. It means that they're able to, live a better life and have a bigger house and cheaper groceries and cheaper food and all that great stuff. So it's good for the employee, good for the employer. It's great to not have to compete quite as much with the larger tech companies out there. The Apples and Googles of the world aren't hiring talent in Cleveland quite as much. Obviously, it still happens, and post-COVID, they are certainly looking at areas like Cleveland a lot more. But fortunately, we've just been able to kind of build a name for ourselves within kind of the local community in Cleveland, and we've been able to get that recognition so that engineers, the top engineers of their class, and business people and everybody that we're wanting to hire will choose our company instead of another company.
Okay, so now your device works on Bluetooth technology, right? So can you explain it to the everyday listener? Explain how you're in the easiest terms here, so Mike Gorday can understand everything that's going on.
Not really.
Okay, explain how it uses Bluetooth, what it uses to log in, how is it doing it, and how secure that actually is.
Yeah, for sure. Mike, I was kind of surprised to hear that you don't have many accounts and devices that EveryKey could work with, because everybody that I talk to has hundreds of different online accounts, right? It's able to unlock everything. It'll create random and secure passwords for your email account, your bank accounts, your social media accounts, any online account that you have, and log you in automatically when you are on the login page of one of those accounts. And then it also unlocks the devices themselves, everything from your computer to your tablet, your phone. And it does this over Bluetooth. So this is the product right here. This is EveryKey, and it is communicating right now with my nearby devices. So it's talking to my computer and my phone in order to provide that Bluetooth unlocking capability and logging into your different website accounts as well. And it's doing that using 4 layers of AES and RSA military grade encryption. So it's the same kind of encryption being used by the US military to encrypt secret and top secret documents. It's the same encryption used by Amazon when you send your credit card number over the internet to Amazon. They're using that same kind of encryption as well. So it's very safe. We've even been security audited as well. And we passed each of our security audits with the best score you can possibly get, which we're so psyched about, because that puts us in like the top 5% of companies when it comes to security.
So this is kind of like that state of the art, maybe Star Trek type of deal.
Oh, no.
So yeah, here we go. So essentially I walk up to a computer, and when this device is in range, and it's it gets out all the way up to about 15 feet. I wish it actually was a little bit lesser, but sometimes 15 feet's a long ways. I can be outside of my office at work, and all of a sudden my computer will log in and it'll be ready to go. I'm like, I'm not even in there yet. But essentially when I walk up to a computer, it opens it up. It automatically logs me in. And if I go to a website, instead of me having to remember my password on Password Manager or LastPass or a gazillion and a half different password tools that are out there, it essentially types in the password itself for me, logs me onto the site, and has me ready to go. Mm-hmm. When I get up and walk away, it locks the computer, it has it secure, taken down. So this is, like, for a geek like me, this is amazing. All right, okay.
Yeah, you're always geeking out over these things.
I am. But explain to me.
Can I just jump in here really quick?
Sure,
Nathan,
absolutely.
What you just addressed, the 15 feet range, that can certainly be an issue in some cases if your devices are further away from you, but EveryKey's still unlocking them. We are going to be adding very soon here a feature where you can customize a range, so you could make your devices unlock when you're only 1 foot away, 2 feet away. You'll be able to set that as a user.
Oh, well, look at that. See?
Oh,
I got to do solving live on air.
Well, you might as well take a drink and celebrate.
That's right. Okay, fantastic. All right. Okay, so explain how this works to replace passwords. All right, so people have lots of passwords, and this was not the first reason I purchased this tool, but the first reason was for the login process. But explain to me how this works and what it does with your passwords.
Yeah. So before I talk about passwords, I also have this big bulky keyring that I have to take with me everywhere. I'm sure you probably have one of those as well. And I have so many different passwords, or had so many passwords prior to EveryKey, that I had to write them all on this piece of paper in order to remember them. A different password for every website and app that I have an account for, right? It's become a lot to manage. Most people have hundreds of different passwords, and this is actually resulting in over $2 trillion being lost due to data breaches. You guys were talking earlier in the show about the IHG, hotel group hacking. They haven't released exactly why that happened or like what the cause of the cyber attack was, but it was most likely, just poor password management. So at EveryKey, we are on a mission to get rid of all of this broken and outdated access control and replace it with something better. And that is where EveryKey comes in, your universal smart key that replaces all those outdated and cumbersome passwords and keys.
He did a magic trick.
I like that. It just kind of poof, all the passwords just would disappear.
That was good.
That was pretty good.
Making your passwords disappear. We're like Chris Angel, the magicians.
That's right. So if you didn't get to see that on the podcast version, you're going to need to make sure you go check that out online on the YouTube and the video versions. All right. Okay. So Chris, what features can we look forward to in the future of this device? How can it be used for other items like maybe homes, locks, maybe vehicles? What other things are you planning to do with this?
Yeah, so today EveryKey can work with your kind of traditionally digital devices, right? Your phone, your laptop, and your tablet to unlock those devices and log you into your online accounts on those devices. But of course, we built this company with such a grander vision than that, right? This is really just the tip of the iceberg, what we've done so far. We want EveryKey to be able to unlock everything from your car door to your house door, your office door, any type of access control point within a company. And we have a lot of the partnerships to make that happen. We have the chairman of Mercedes-Benz is one of our investors. The former CEO of Chrysler is one of our investors. We have partnerships in the works with some of the biggest and best car companies, access control systems, and Bluetooth door lock companies out there. So really excited to see what the kind of future holds here. And I think you'll be excited for it as well.
All right. Well, Chris, it was a pleasure to have you on the show. Now, how can people get in touch with you if they wanted to, let's say they have oogles of cash and they want to invest in this? Now, we're going to talk about at the end of the show on the Nathan Nugget about how you can get one of these devices. So we have a special agreement here. Here's EveryKey right here, kind of the packaging. Mm-hmm. We're going to show you where you go. We're going to have a link on TechTime Radio so you can actually go and purchase this. But how can people get in touch with you if they want to learn more about this product and other things you guys are working on?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just share my email live on air here. What could go wrong, right? They can get in touch with me at chris.wentz, that's chris.wentz at everykey.com, everykey.com. And yeah, you can go to our website to purchase one of our products. We even have a special discount code created for you guys. TechTime20 will get you 20% off your purchase at everykey.com.
If you go to everykey.com, TechTime20. Yeah. We're going to be running those ads each and every week now. TechTime20. Oh, yeah. You can get your device, and this is by far, you purchase the hardware, and then you will have to, if you decide to use the password management, there's a reoccurring cost. What's the reoccurring cost on it? It's pretty insignificant compared to other password managers. What is that?
It's $5 per month. It's pretty fair. It's pretty similar or lower than most other competitors out there. So we're providing you so much value. We're saving you, hours, per week or per month, and we're only charging you $5 for that. I think it's a pretty fair deal.
Yeah, that's really good. That's just the cost of the AWS cloud server you probably have to have running for that. All right, well, thank you very much. That ends our segment, Technology Insider. Up next, we have This Week in Technology, so now is a great time to enjoy a little whiskey on the side, as I'll be doing so during this break. You're listening to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm. Hey, Mike, guess what?
What?
If you're a business owner, people leader, or marketeer, I have the event for you. Listen up, everyone. It's called Playbook 2022, happening this week on September 21st and 22nd, and it's completely free.
Yeah, this is the third year that Training is putting it on, and it's going to be better than ever. They have amazing speakers like the marketing master himself, Seth Godin, brother-sister duo Allison and Wes Felix. You may recognize Allison from the Olympics. She's a track and field star who's won tons of gold medals in her career. And now her and her brother own Sayish, a lifestyle sneaker brand built for and by women.
Plus, they have Caitlin Crosby, founder and CEO of The Giving Keys, Jason Fried, co-founder and CEO of Basecamp, Makita Mikado, founder and CEO of Panda Doc, and more. This two-day event is September 21st and 22nd. It's virtual and it's all free. That means it's completely free for anyone. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss out on it. You're going to learn so much about how to build an incredible culture and a more efficient business than ever. So register now. Go to playbook2022.com. That's playbook2022.com. It's totally free, and we can't wait to see you there.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
September 12th, 1962. President John F. Kennedy gave a speech in Houston, Texas at Rice Stadium. This 18-minute-long speech was to convince the United States why we should go to the moon. The We Choose to Go to the Moon address was written by both John F. Kennedy and a speechwriter, Ted Sorensen. This speech aimed to gain American support and get everyone on board with the idea of space exploration and embark on space exploration that was going to undergo the USSR's competition between the United States. We have an audio excerpt here of this famous speech.
But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why, 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win. And do all this and do it right, and do it first before this decade is out, then we must be bold.
There you go.
That was indeed a tremendous speech from our president. However, just think of what the small part of this speech resulted from Kennedy's general curiosity mixed with his fascination as a child with space. The speech provided the United States with the direction for our space program in the early 1960s.
And what year did we get to the moon? Do you remember?
I don't know what year. What year?
1968.
1968. There you go. This was our This Week in Technology. If you ever wanted to watch some Tech Time history with over 2 years of video podcasts and blog information, you can visit techtimeradio.com to watch our older shows or join the Tech Timers Facebook group to talk with us live all the time. We're going to take a commercial break, but when we return, we have our Gadgets and Gear segment with Gwen Way. So get out your notebook as she shares information you are definitely want to take notes on. We'll see you after this break. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's happening?
Did you know for every $1 spent on email marketing, you receive $36 in return? That's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
But it's all so complicated. All those advanced tools and features, you don't know how to approach them at all.
What if there was an email marketing platform where you don't have to rack your brains to get started? A tool that's not overloaded with unnecessary features you don't want to pay for, and, believe it or not, has a support team available 24/7, even on the free plan.
There is a solution, Mike. Let me introduce you to Sellzy, a tool that makes email marketing as easy as 1, 2, 3. With Sellzy, you can launch your first campaign in 15 minutes. No coding required. A very easy to use, intuitive email builder with over 300,000 gifts and stickers to choose from and 500,000 plus free stock images, a customizable countdown timer, and more. Create emails for any business goal, from e-commerce to nonprofits. Easily create automated email sequences for your business.
Get 24/7 support via chat, email, and phone, even on the free plan. Sellzy has just launched a special deal. You can now get a lifetime access to all Sellzy features for just $49. All the core features, unlimited emails, automation, segmentation, advanced analytics for the price of 10 lattes.
Sellzy is the easiest way to start selling with emails. Try it now. Click the link in this episode description on Tech Time Radio to get that special deal.
No commissions or hidden fees.
To learn more information, visit them at the simple and easy site to remember. Just go and visit Sellzy.com. That's SELZY.com. The easiest way to send emails. And now for Marc's Mumbles.
All right.
Let's hear what Marc has to say about this. Again, we're tasting the Ellington Reserve 8-year Canadian whiskey. It's $19.99 a bottle, 80 proof. Marc says Ellington isn't actually a brand that exists in Canada. The trademark is owned by the Minnesota-based United States Distilled Products Company, which is probably the most bland and corporate name you could ever imagine in a business. Founded in 1981, the USDP is a bottling company that imports and sources spirits from other distilleries, creates its own brands, and sells them primarily in the Midwest United States. Marc wonders why Nathan purchased this artificial tasting, really, really sweet and really, really maple syrupy swill that ends with the bitterness and chemicals. If you find yourself with a bottle of this due to an unwise purchase, pour it either down the drain or try and hide it in a cocktail, just not for any guests. Marc gives this a thumbs down.
No way.
Yeah.
It sounded like you really liked it.
He did not really like this. I don't know if I may be agreeing with Marc on this, though.
Well,
Are you agreeing with Marc?
I don't necessarily think it's swill, but it is kind of bland.
It is kind of bland.
It's just sort of boring. It's not a bad taste.
Okay.
But it's
all right. Well, we'll see what we do in our whiskey pick of the day, right?
Okay.
All right. Okay. Now we need to move on, and we have, of course, one of our favorites. We have Gwen, our producer. She always has tons of information. I'm sure she has something in her pocket of goodies this week for us to share on our next segment.
What's new in our gadgets and gear?
All right, Gwen, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I honestly, that was a higher regard for a whiskey that has Canadian in the name than I was expecting out of both of you.
Well, it's not that bad. I like it. I actually really like it. Okay, it's a $19 whiskey, so I love that price range. And you know what?
I think compared to last week's pick, this is actually really good. So,
okay. Right.
So it may just be the date that you're drinking it.
Yeah, maybe
because
you just prep it with such a bad one.
I don't feel like I have to go brush my teeth.
Okay, all right.
I mean, that's a good sign.
Well, Gwen, tell us now. You always bring us a gadget and gear item. So tell us, what do you have? Is this device on Kickstarter? Where are we going to learn about this device?
We are going back to Kickstarter. It's one of my favorites, although Backer Kit is starting to catch up. So we may hear more about that in the future.
Alrighty.
This device actually fits kind of well with the universal password key because this is a universal remote.
All right. I always need that. I got 4 remotes to turn on my TV now. I tell Alexa to turn on my TV.
Yeah.
And then after Alexa turns on my TV, I have to use 4 different remotes to navigate around in it. Okay. So what does this do?
You need to go and see Christopher Walken.
I do.
Well, and this is even more of a universal remote than that.
Okay.
Not only can it turn on your TV, your VCR, your cable box, all of that good stuff, it can also turn on your lights. It can unlock your door. It can turn up your thermostat. It can open your curtains if you're in a smart house.
So it works with Bose, Sony, Sonos, Uber, Apple TV, Philips, Xbox, LG, Smart Things devices, Pioneer, Lutron, Yamaha. This sucker works with like everything. Here's just a list of the graphics of the things that they did.
Can you imagine what you could do if you had it synced to your neighbor's house?
Oh, that would be even
terrible and wonderful.
All right, so now how much is this poor device going to put me back to get one? I actually ordered one this morning.
You've already got one.
I did. I ordered one this morning.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. And I got 4 of them, so they're all coming for people for Christmas. So hopefully,
you only need one remote, buddy.
Magic wand.
Okay.
Yeah. So this magic wand you can get right now for $89 on the early bird special. There's still some left. I highly recommend jumping on this early. It is available until October 11th, however. So if you're the kind of person who wants to drag their feet a little bit, you still have time. Just don't drag it for too long.
Okay. And how many backers does it have? How much has it made for the pledge to reach its goal? Where's it at on that?
Well, so I jotted down some notes before we started this. And at that time, it was at 1,636 backers.
Okay.
In the past 50 minutes, we are now up to 1,644. So that's an additional 8 backers.
Okay.
We were at just over $188,000 out of a $20,000 goal. We're now all the way up over 189.
Wow.
So
wow,
it's definitely a popular one.
So I could use my EveryKey to turn on my universal remote. Is that how
You
that
could.
works?
You know what? Because if it's a Bluetooth technology with a login and password, you still have to load the EveryKey client on the device.
There we go.
So there you go. We have to. We'll just send a little note to say that, hey, we want to buy this Kickstarter.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Maybe Chris can write that into the back end of that. Okay.
There we go.
So what else does this remote do that's great? What's its battery life? What's its charging time? Anything other great features about it? What's its interface? Is it just a regular push button, or what does it look like?
It's actually a touchscreen interface. It's really intuitive. It's going to look very similar to a lot of the remotes that you've worked with in the past, without the full button thing. You can charge it wirelessly.
Okay.
And it has up to a 10-day battery life. So that's a lot of messing with your neighbor's stuff, is what I'm saying.
That's good because I always lose my remote from the weekends to the weekday. So that's 3 days. Right?
How do you lose your remote,
Well,
but you don't lose your...
We got one for the TV. We got one that runs the TiVo unit. We got one that does the blue.
I never lose my remotes. How do you lose your remote?
They get stuck in
very carefully.
How do you even... That's,
What?
How do you not lose your EveryKey?
Well, I don't because it's on my wallet. So if I lose my wallet,
so you need to just put your remote on your wallet.
Remote.
So yeah, well,
Exactly.
It's not that I can't get a remote that small like EveryKey is. So,
This is relatively small. It's about the size of a cell phone, so you could just, carry an extra cell phone around, basically.
Yeah, get a holster.
Yeah.
I wonder if 2 or 3 of these can all bind together. That would be fantastic.
You will figure out. You will figure out how
I'm
to
going to
do
take
that.
a look. All right, where is it again? What is it called? It's called what?
It's called Ovomote. That's OVOMOTE. It's available on Kickstarter. And again, you've got until October 11th, but I would not sleep on this one.
Okay. Thank you, Gwen, very much.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Have a great day. All right. We were going to go to a commercial break, but we're going to skip that.
Okay.
All
let's
right.
skip that.
We're going to
What are we
skip
gonna
that.
talk about?
We're going to go right into Mike's mesmerizing moment.
Oh.
This is Mike's mesmerizing moment, presented by StoriCoffee. Visit StoriCoffee.com. All right, here's my question to you.
I love StoriCoffee. What's my question this
You do
week?
have StoriCoffee. You got some new StoriCoffee this
Yeah, that's great.
All right. Why do seasons like summer or fall affect us in our lives? So we're just moving from summer to fall, and we're all excited about summer.
Oh,
and
there's
fall.
so many things going on there.
Okay, explain this to me.
Well, you have your metabolism. You have your reduction in light. You have reduction in melatonin levels and serotonin levels. There's all kinds of stuff going on. We're going into the winter months where we want to start preserving our food and our calorie intake. So we start packing on pounds. Because we're losing the light. We don't have the extensive daylight. We are getting more tired throughout the day. We are losing some things like melatonin, like I said. And I just had it, and I just totally forgot it. Dang it.
So fall's my favorite time of the year. Fall in the Pacific Northwest. I love fall. Summer's great, but I love fall. We got all the leaves coming on down.
We're essentially just going through a lot of physiological changes, and one of the things that we're doing is it interrupts our circadian rhythms, our sleeping cycles too. So we also see a lot of upticks in depression and depression-related things. We also have the pressure of the holidays that creates a sociological pressure on us, and so we start stressing out about the holidays. So there's a lot of little factors that are going into the change of seasons, not just physically, but mentally and socially.
And the start of football. That's the beginning of fall for me.
Yeah.
The start of
There
football, nothing's better.
Party time. Party
sitting back on a Sunday, watching the NFL Red Zone, watching all those games. Okay, all right, that makes
There
sense.
you go.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what's going on with that.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the Nathan Nugget. We're not going to have to play the music though. Nathan Nugget's going to be very simple. I'm going to post online at techtimeradio.com the EveryKey login. Now, remember the code is TechTime20 to get 20% off this hardware device. Mm-hmm. Then once you get the hardware device, you load it up into your machine. You can then do the password information that's available there, and then you can have passwords that we're running. Nothing is better, in my personal opinion, for your password manager than EveryKey. I'm getting paid nothing from it. Nothing, no promotions.
Yeah, you've been talking about this since you found it. Before it was even available, you were talking about this.
So this is fantastic. Back when they were doing Kickstarter proceeds. All right, well now we need to move into our whiskey tasting of the day here. We are tasted the Ellington Reserve 8-year Canadian whiskey, $19.80 proof. The premium Canadian whiskey aged to perfection in charred oak bars for 8 years. What are you going to give this, Mr. Gourdet?
I'm going to give it a thumbs up just for the fact that it tastes better than last week's.
Okay.
It's an okay taste. It's sort of bland. It doesn't have any kick at all. So.
Okay. So you thought it was all right.
What happened to the music?
I don't know. The music just went off. All right. Mr. Miller, do you like this? What did you think of this?
It's actually, if you like Crown Royal, pleasant, cheap alternative to Crown Royal, I thought. I was at the store and a guy said, yeah, what you want to look for in a Canadian whiskey is something that's aged longer. It's something that really gets better and longer over time. I was looking at a description and tasting notes. I was like, this is pretty nice, but some people, Canadian whiskey, kind of shy away from that because of our past experience of Canadian whiskey on the show.
Yep.
But I thought, what the heck, I'll give it a try. He's really talking it up. I'll get the 1.75 liter bottle, and I'm pleased with my purchase. Definitely a thumbs up.
All right, I gave it a thumbs up also. It is our 3 thumbs up. Is it 2 thumbs up? Mr. Marc is going to just be killing us at our next production meeting.
I can totally feel Marc, too, on this, too.
Can you feel his?
I'm not really going to call it swill, but...
Well, you got to remember,
it's kind of boring.
Yeah, but he also spends the $200 whiskey bottles on
I know.
shelf, so
it's compared to some of the great ones we've tasted, no bar.
That makes sense. All right. Well, that is about to end our show today. We hope you enjoyed being a part and hopefully listening to it. Now, we always remember the technology of tomorrow starts with the technology of today.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, mum's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.